Welcome everyone, it's Unstoppable Stelezzi here, and we're going to be covering another civilization from the Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition Age of the World mod. So this is the last civilization that was added to the Mounds and Mountains patch, or expansion as you could call it. So this is the Calusa. Yeah. The past two civs we covered from the patch were from the Caucasus region. The Calusa are actually a Native American civ, native to the Florida coast of the Americas. So yeah, very interesting civ, and I think for those coming from Wars of Liberty, they're going to feel like a nice mixture of different things as well. And while they are named the Calusa, you could call them sort of Seminole as well, because they do have some very heavy-handed references and roster aspects tying them to the Seminoles, as you'll see. Before we do any gameplay stuff, I would like to just go through their cards so you know what they're all about, and we can go through everything basically. So these are the Age 1 cards that we got at the Calusa. Their villager is going to be a basic Native American villager, so nothing too special there. They do get resource crates, the infinite ones that is. They do get some options of shipping some native scouts, which is pretty cool. 4 gators. So yeah, you're from Florida, so you get access to some tame gators here, which is a nice treasure guardian. Or I should say a pet to help you with the treasure guardians, yeah. Yep. Yeah, gators are both treasure guardians and pets as well, so who could figure that out, yeah. Native lore. Basically, what we saw with the Georgians and Armenians all over again. You got this card here, the Town Ceremony. Villages learn the new Defensive Town Ceremony, which boosts your buildings in combat. So, I think most Native American civs already have this card option as well. So, if you like that card with the R1s, you're going to like it here probably. Then we got Pioneers, so if you don't like getting raided that much, yeah, good. You get some tanky vills. You got Advanced Trading Posts, Advanced Market, Advanced Water Courts. Water Courts have a greater attack, heal ships faster, and train ships more quickly. If you didn't know, the Calusa, being a coastal Floridian sort of native, has a lot to do with water. So this is already right here a reference to that. And then you have the Advanced Fish Drying Stations. Delivers 1 fish drying station traveler. Fish drying stations are cheaper and stronger. And this is going to be a late game food resource that we'll see in the gameplay that you're going to have as the Calusas, which is pretty neat. Sacred Rain allows you, War Chief, or should be your War Chief, to fish drying stations, your shell stalls, your planted forests, and your water courts, which provide them with temporary bonuses. So, from the sounds of it, it basically sounds like you're turning them into some sort of Age of Mythology pharaoh or something, empowering these buildings or something. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. If not, it sounds like a temporary ability. Sawmills, we got Fish Market, we got Exotic Hardwoods, some pretty standard cards. You get both the Team Spice Trade and the Team Furrier in Age 1. So, even though you're going to be mostly a fishing civ, you do have some ability to help your allies out with their hunting rates as well, which is good, in their berries. You got this card here, Coastal Weirs. Villagers gather food from fish drying stations, and fishing boats gather food from fishes faster. So a lot of fish and villager synergy there. Deer Pelt Trade. More valuable deer pelts enable your villagers to gather coin from the tribal marketplace faster. So, yep, basically if you're trying to collect from mines, that's going to be really good. Plentiful Bounty. The Calusa's fishing activities yield extra fish, allowing fish drying stations to spawn dried fish crates over time. So, yeah, this will basically make your food buildings a bit more effective, giving you a secondary food resource that you can mop up pretty quickly. Shell Pickers. Teaching from expert Calusa shell pickers allows your villagers to gather coin from shell stalls faster. If you don't know what shell stalls are, they're basically your sort of plantation building for the civ. They don't use like the normal estates, if you will. They have their own sort of thing where they collect seashells, basically, and sell them off to the Europeans. As you know, seashells are pretty exotic items, depending on what they are, and if you go to a home goods type of store, you'll often see shells on all sorts of stuff, especially the more summer-based merchandise. So yeah, makes sense why you'd want to sell that for coin. Wood crafting, land grab, fur trade, yep, pretty standard cards. Now this one you might wonder what this is, secret ceremonies. The king allows the shamans to perform the same secret ceremonies they perform in Mound Key, improving their effectiveness when tasked to the ceremonial ground. So basically, these shell shamans are basically sort of your priest unit. This will basically allow them to work better on the basically the ceremonial grounds, which is sort of their fire pit building, if you will. And then you got 3 fishing boats. You do have the water ceremony that the other civs do. And then you have mound keepers. Reduces the cost of support and ally cards. So basically most Native American civs have their own sort of variant of this. It basically allows you to gain renegade units, native shipments at a cheaper cost basically. So that's going to be good if you like using those types of cards in mass. Now on to Age 2. We got 5 villagers here. We got our standard crates. We got our advanced scouts, which is pretty common. We got these priests here, the shell shamans, essentially. So they can heal units and they can work at the ceremonial grounds. Also has the ability to periodically summon fish. And what do I mean by that? Well, basically, in the shaman's UI, you're going to have this ability where you can generate basically a patch of fish right on the water. So technically, it's possible to never run out of fishing resources on water maps as long as you got the shamans constantly working. Just be aware that there's a cooldown for it, so it's not going to be an immediate thing, so you're going to have to wait. And hopefully you can balance out your fishing boat to villager ratio to make it all work out for you. Defender of the Calusa. Your war chief is bearing combat and at organizing defenses. His aura is now slightly bigger and more effective. So, you know how most Native American war chiefs give a boosted aura to units nearby? This essentially makes it a bit more efficient and wider reaching for this particular war chief. We got more gators since we're in Florida. Make sure they don't swipe you with their tail or you're going to get eaten, obviously. Watch out for that. Native Alliance. Native warriors are less expensive and you can train more of them. So you can tell right away that Calusa have a lot of good native synergy, which makes a lot of sense since they do have the Seminoles in their roster. So not only can you train your Seminole units, but you're going to probably be able to spam more native settlement Seminoles as well, which is pretty cool. Warrior culture, most native civs have this as well. Basically, your villagers attack better. You got mound architecture. The Calusa's architecture grants all buildings built on mounds a hit point boost, and enemies deal reduced damage when attacking them at melee range. This also includes the market and the industrial age. So, what does this mean exactly? If you didn't know from the name of this patch, it's called Mounds and Mountains. So, if we look at a lot of the buildings when we get into the gameplay, you're going to notice that a lot of the building structures, namely the ones here, the Mound House, the Town Center, the War Settlement, and the Sentry Posts, basically exist on these sort of mound structures, these elevated positions. So, all these sorts of buildings are going to become tankier and harder to siege now once you send this card. And then we have fencing and riding school. The Calusa themselves don't use any cavalry. They fight all on foot, but they are sort of allied up with the Seminoles, who part of their roster belongs to, and they can train some mounted stuff, essentially. So that's why this riding school is there. And, of course, any native warriors you can find on some of the Great Plains maps. Even though you're not really going to want to play these guys on the Great Plains, I think you're going to probably want to play them more on sort of the water maps that don't have a lot of horses on them, honestly. Shellfish traps. Villagers gather from fish drying stations faster. Basically your sustainable agriculture. Another boost to the fish drying stations. And increases the yield from fishes as well. So these are some of the more interesting eco cards we get with this Civ. Not only does it boost your farming rate, if you consider that farming, because normally farms, as you know, have crops there, but for these guys, it's literally just fish. But it'll also benefit your actual fishing as well. So, a bit of fishing and villager synergy with these cards. You got astute trading. Villagers gather coin from tribal marketplaces faster. Tribal marketplaces last longer. Oh, that's pretty neat. We got medicine. We got team medicine as well. And now we got this upgrade card here, the Shark Teeth Weapons. Water Keepers, Calusa Fishermen, Shark Tooth Bowmen, and Seminole Light Horses get 50% more attack from their upgrades, and their upgrades become 20% cheaper. What does this mean? For the said units, their upgrades are going to be a lot cheaper to research now, and there's going to be an added booster to these technologies that will essentially add an additional benefit to the HP and attack equivalent to half of the normal upgrade stats. So let's say you're doing a veteran upgrade, it's going to add an additional 10% upgrade stats. Guard is going to give you 15%, and then Imperial should give you like 25%. So it's a really good way to just boost up your units a lot easier, I think, and just get some really nice stats on them overall. You got the Water Keepers here. These are essentially going to be Coyote Runners, so they're going to be good against archers, skirmishers, and artillery. And these are a pretty interesting unit. So not only can they be used for combat, they can also be used for economy, and they can actually gather from fish and whales if they're right up against the shoreline, which is a really cool little bonus, you know. It's nothing new in the Age of Empires 3 world, because this is something you can actually do with the Tupi villagers as well in Wars of Liberty, but it's just something they add to these guys as well. And in terms of the net attack, it's talking about, well, basically the Calusas can fling this sort of net at the enemy as a charge attack, and it's sort of a really good snare that helps you hunt them down easier and finish them off. But overall, I would say the Calusa mostly is going to be an anti-cavalry unit that you can use in general, I would say. Tribal Mass. The Calusa's Tribal Mass strike fear into the hearts of their opponents, reducing their attack output by 10% when they see the Calusa warriors. So basically, your military will reduce their overall damage that they'll do to them just by being near them, which is great. Infantry attack and hit points. This is going to be majority of your military, so these are going to be some really good upgrades to get. Seminole Sharktooth Bowman, just like the native unit that you've come to know and love over the years, right there. Then we got the cavalry attack. If I recall correctly, you only have one native cavalry unit in your roster, essentially, so this is not going to be too effective unless you're going to combine it with, say, a map that has a lot of cavalry natives, in which case, if you're not playing on a map that really benefits the Calusa, like, say, one of the Great Plains style maps, and you got a lot of Comanche and Cheyenne natives on there, this might synergize well with that. You got canoes, war canoes, improved warships. You're a water civ after all, of course they're going to have these. You got Charura swimming contests. The traditional Charura swimming contest allows all your boats to move 30% faster. Now, Charura I thought was a whole separate civ in this mod, so maybe they got to change it to Calusa swimming contest, maybe. But overall, I like the effect. Your boats being able to maneuver a lot faster through the water should be pretty useful. You got Renegade Spanish. This is the same card that the Aztecs get that can allow them to get some conchs into their army for pretty reasonable coin costs. You got Jesuit allies, and then you got Seminole Maroon allies. A sturdy skirmisher that is accurate at long range, essentially. So this is another sort of native shipment you can get sent to you as well. And now we got the Age 3 cards here. We got villagers, we got crates, we got a covered wagon, you got native treaties, so a lot of native synergy again. And now we got Whale Song. Shell Shamans become able to also summon whales and allows them to be trained from water courts. Okay, so this is really good for war maps. Not only are you going to be able to summon fish onto the water once you start running out of it, but if you don't really want your villagers to be gathering coin on land, guess what? You're going to be able to summon whales onto the water and just go to a full fishing-based coin economy. Isn't that something special? Because I think there's a lot of us that wish on these war maps that there were just more resources on the water that we could actually utilize. Now, Calusa is the only civ you've probably ever seen that actually says, yeah, we can just give you as much stuff as you need to make the water as profitable as possible, honestly. And then you got native warriors here to make them cheaper. You got native warrior combat. And then you got this team card, water canals. The Calusa build water canals to drain water during the rain season to prevent floods, and so canoes can travel through the kingdom, allowing traders to travel faster and thus reduce the cost of trade route upgrades and increasing their yield. Basically what this means is your trade routes become more efficient. The upgrades are going to become cheaper, and the bounty you get from each visit on the trade routes are going to basically become more efficient, basically. And it doesn't specify if it's only water trade routes. It's assumed that it's going to be any sort of trade route, because you see it says here, stagecoach and iron horse. So yeah, basically any trade route on a map, it's going to benefit. And now we got another card here called Middens. The usage of middens to build mounts reduces the cost of buildings and allows them to be built faster. So buildings are cheaper and they construct a lot quicker too. Advanced war settlements basically improves your build limit of the war settlements, aka your war huts. This is a lot of things that you usually have with other Native American civs, so you can basically mass out a bit more onto the map, because as you know, war huts have a build limit, right? It's not like a European barracks when you can just have like 20 million of them on the map, because they come with the range attack and so forth. So this is basically your way of basically spreading out onto the map a bit quicker and more efficiently, I would say. Being able to spread them out a bit more the way you'd like. Agrarian ways, basically all of your sort of market up, your farming upgrades and your estate upgrades are basically going to become free after this, pretty much. Except for the Imperial Age ones, but also sort of get this one, so it's not really too special. Pearl trade. For the rest of the game, a steady coin trickle enriches you, basically equivalent to capitalism, but it also gives a shell stall gather rate improvement equivalent to a rum distillery. So it's like one way you're getting coin from the trickle, the other way it's just making the economy much better. Another shell stall upgrade here, Western tools, about the same as rum distillery again. And then we got environmentalism. A lot of natives have seemed to get this, but I don't understand what this card needs to be updated to the roster, because I see this card in a lot of places and it still affects only the musket riders and the forest prowlers, even though this only applies to the Hods, obviously. Nobody else is going to have those units. So that's a note for Kados to get that patch and basically get that card revamped for every civ that has this in the Native American culture. Yep, so we got more of the Water Keepers, Coyote Runners, the Calusa Fishermen, great unit. And then we got the Bear Clansmen. Basically, these are going to be your Native American style doppelsoldiers. They're going to have good splash, and they're going to be able to hit multiple units at the same time. They got great siege, and they got multipliers against cavalry, which is pretty solid. Panther Prowlers. These are going to be blowgunners, so they're going to basically be like archers, and will essentially do a lot of damage to infantry units. And they even get an upgrade card here called the Ponce de Leon's Demise. Panther Prowlers imbue their darts with the same venom that led to Ponce de Leon's death, dealing extra damage and inflicting poison damage over time. So you remember the Jungle Bowmen from the Incas? Well, now you basically can do poison damage like they do as well with that, pretty much. And then more Seminole Bowmen. And you also get this copycat card that essentially the Seminole natives have at their site, the Seminole Guerrilla Wars. Essentially, it will allow your Seminole Bowmen to do more damage to buildings from greater range. But it does make a note here that it will not affect the native unit, only the ones that you train from your roster. Because, yeah, it can get a little messy because there's Seminole Bowmen at the Civs roster as well as from the native side. And if you're going to play them on their native homeland, yeah, there actually aren't Seminole natives on there. So, yeah, kind of have to know the difference, right? You got the Seminole light horses. These are Seminole dragoons, cavalry archers that will be good against cavalry and artillery. Then you got a cavalry combat card here, and then you got the hammock gunman. So what is this? This is essentially a Seminole skirmisher, so it's good against light cavalry and heavy infantry. So more of a standard gunpowder unit you can field. And then you got Deringer's rifles here. Hammock gun and Seminole Maroons deal more damage and fire their weapons faster. So not only does it improve your damage, but it will also allow them to shoot faster, basically. So the Maroons, if you didn't see before, are actually a native ally you can get for some of your cards. So like this one here, this is the Maroon right here. It's a native Seminole skirmisher. Yeah, and going back to over here, you got another war canoe shipment. You got birch bark, renegade Spanish. You got Sinapa support. Gives you about 8 hammock guns with 8 bowmen, so a big massing of good skirmish units. Catispa support gives you about 14 panther prowlers and a crate of 500 wood. And then you got Sinesta support. Gives you 415 water keepers, increases villager gather rates from shell stalls. So benefits your economy and gives you some army to work with. So that's pretty solid. Tomo support gives you 4 fishing boats, 3 Noka canoes, and 1 war canoe. Tatesta support. The Tatesta send 14 Bear Clansmen and a crate of 500 food. And then you got Enempa support. About 10 villagers and a covered wagon. So a lot of value there. You got Metamopo support, 16 Calusa fishermen, and then you got the Yagua support, 10 Seminole light horses, and increases the train time of cavalry units. Not just them, but also any native or cavalry or mercenaries you come across. Pretty much, yep. And now finally onto the Age 4 cards. We got crates, we got blood brothers, kinship ties, improved buildings, you got the old ways, you got North American trade. Then you got more waterkeeper shipments, fishermen, bear clansmen, panther prowlers, shark-tooth bowmen, range, Native American archer with a short range. So that's the one that you can train. That's not the native site one, just so you're fully aware of that. Light horses, hammock guns, war canoes, a bigger renegade Spanish shipment, an infinite shipment of the Jesuits, the Conquistadores. And you also get an infinite shipment of the Maroon skirmishers too. So got some nice late game native infinite shipment options that you can use pretty much. Yeah, basically. So I already have a bit of a deck here that we might be able to use and just go over the basics with. But you should certainly try the mod out for yourself and see what all the cards do. Alright, let's go into like a basic match. I think we'll go to Florida. It's only fitting is the Calusa, right? Let's go to Florida. Place where Disney World is and Universal Studios, right? Yeah. Well, this is before they drained the swamp, basically, at Disney. Before they had Mickey Mouse, they had Mickey the Calusa fisherman, basically, yeah. Who we go up against? We'll go up against Andrew Jackson. yeah, no, George Washington. They should just turn to Andrew Jackson as soon as you turn into Calusa, because we're the Seminoles and they went to war against Andrew Jackson, so, yep, it'd be a little bit more fitting if they had that. But I'm not going to complain. I like the Florida map in general because it's generally a good tournament map that we see a lot in the ESOC events as well as in the Wars of Liberty Ligas, so definitely happy to go on here anytime. Yeah, so we're going to see some differences right away. And for you that like the Wars of Liberty Greeks, you're going to have some good surprises with this Civ, and I'm going to show that to you right away, actually. So let's work on that right now. I'll try to get this gator over here. I don't think I'm going to convert. No, I got the normal conversion ability, so I can only convert humans, right? And gators, unfortunately, are not humanoids, so that won't work. I can convert him if I want to. Maybe we'll do that. Yep, let's recruit this blowgunner here. Might even be a descendant of the Calusa, who knows? Let's start hunting away from these turkeys. Bull! Yep. So here is the... Let me see, where's the dock? Here's the water court. This is basically a Calusa dock that can make your warships as well as your fishing boats. But it has a very nice, useful property for us that you're going to see. And this is essentially the Calusa's house, the mound house. It's literally on top of a mound. A mound or a mount. Can you say mound and mount interchangeably? I don't know. But, yeah, basically, see, you can see the little spire. You walk around the spire to get to the top, essentially. Almost looks like one of those castles from other games. You know, those evil castles where you have to go around the spiral staircase to get up to the top of the lair. Yeah, it sort of looks like that almost. But, yep. So this is what the Calusa share with Wars of Liberty Greeks. The ability to get free fishing boats over time from your docks, or what they call them, your water courts. Yeah. Yep. Isn't this lovely? You can have infinite fishing boats for free over time. Isn't that such a good booming feature? Yeah, this makes Calusa such an effective civilization, I think. Because basically, if you chop enough wood, you can essentially get about 2 of these water courts early and start doubling down on 2 fishing boats every few seconds, basically, which is pretty good. I wouldn't say every few seconds, but certainly, I don't know. How long does it normally take for a fishing boat to queue up? I don't know, but basically, you'll get a lot of fishing done. And you won't even have to pay for it either, which is really great. Unlike the Wars of Liberty Greeks, though, you can still train fishing boats as well if you want to get super duper greedy on the war. Like, if you not only want the free fishing boats, but you want to train them as well, you can still do that, which is phenomenal. You're not forced to have one or the other. Almost makes you like the Wars of Liberty Ethiopians in their Goa migration card, right? Both free villagers from the town center as well as ones you can train. Only this time without the inherent nerfs of, you know, the queue taking double as long and stuff, which is really powerful. Yep, let's get those crawdads there. Those are basically like little lobsters, basically. You know what a lobster is, right? Basically the claws, the tail, and everything. A crawdad is essentially almost like a really small type of lobster, basically. It's like really small, and it's in a lot of Cajun cooking, basically. Pretty delicious. I don't think I've ever had the crawdads before, but another name for them is crayfish, I believe, as well. So if you're just looking for different vocabulary, if you're visiting Lingoland, you can use that, I think, as a proper guide for you. I just want to get one more of these water courts down, just so we can stay above the enemy's economy, I think. There we go. Let's go with the chief. The good old chief. Good old chieftain. Yeah. Start chopping some wood. And we got a lot of units we can use right away. We can get the Calusa fishermen. We can make the water keepers. And then we can make the Seminole bowmen as well from the other side. So basically, the War Settlement makes all of your Calusa units, and the Chickie makes all of your Seminole units. So they keep them separated, basically. You got Calusa here, Seminoles here, Calusa here. Yep, these are the shell stalls. This is where you get your coin. This is where you get your food, the fish drying station. And this is essentially your ceremonial grounds. It's like your community plaza. It's also on a mound too. Yeah, look at the little mound in the center there. Yep, really cool. Actually looks more like the old school fire pit, but from top of a mound of sand, which is pretty neat. What else? I will get a mound house here. And they get their own big buns as well, the seasonal movements. The Calusa practice of taking down their buildings and moving them elsewhere during flood season teaches them how to reuse wood, which provides you with 500 wood for every 10 minutes of the game, which, you know, eventually is going to lead you to having about 1.5k wood if you wait about a half hour for it, so that's great. Let's get a War Settlement first, and then we can get a Chickie next. Start adding some of the Seminole units in. Yeah, we're getting a really good economy here, yeah. And it really snowballs over time, too, by the way. So if you really keep utilizing it, you're gonna snowball out of control with your economy as this, and it's really strong. So what deck are we doing? I've been doing so well with this stuff, I even thought of that fish market. Let's pick that up, and we'll get coastal weirs as well. So our fish economy will be really Giga Chad good now. Yep, we can also research the gill nets. Let's get our, get this, start getting some coin. I mean, we're getting so much food, we really don't even have to worry about too much of the food economy anymore. We can start worrying about the wood and the coin a bit more. I'll get some water keepers for right now in case there's any state militia the USA plans on sending against us. Why don't we get another mound house as well? Oh, I already built one. Alright, we'll have more though. The more the merrier. One less thing I have to worry about. Ooh, cool! Look at the tribal marketplace of this. They put the sand and sort of like the beach like texture underneath it. That's really cool. Yep. So what do you get here? You get 3 souls. The Calusa's belief that each person has 3 souls allows any units trained to provide you 3 times more XP, but also provide your enemies a larger XP bounty when killed. So it's sort of a trade-off. Like, you're going to get more XP when you train stuff, but your enemy, when they kill your units, are going to get insane amounts of shipments. So you got to choose wisely, my friend, with that one. You know, depends on what you're looking for. Like, don't just get it because it's a technology. Go like, ooh, it's a technology. I won. No, don't do it. Think about it. Make a responsible decision on that, because if you don't, you may regret it. In fact, yeah. So now we got this here, so we can make a shell shaman and start adding some more fish into this water here, which would be great. So now here's the thing I didn't touch on yet. So basically this is called a tidal trap, and if you place it right here, it essentially is a little orb boosting building that will actually help your fishing boats in their gather rates. So think a lot about the Danish anchorage in Wars of Liberty and how it boosted the nearby fishing boats' gather rate. So instead of the dock itself providing that bonus, you can construct these little nets anywhere on the water, and they will essentially help your fishing boats to gather stuff, which is really cool. And the net itself will start to gather the fish on its own too, because you can see this little circle here, just like a Swedish torp works basically, but instead of like trees and mines, it does it with you know, fish and whales. Yeah. So now we could probably start to build up our chickie right now and start getting that going. I'll ship in some units now for the general defense, because we don't want to get too off guard here, I think. And we'll have at least a little bit of defense for us to use. Gill nets. Coastal defenses. All the Noka canoe sailors are swapped with water keepers. Noka canoes gain higher attack and hit points, lower fishing capabilities, a higher cost, take longer to train, and become able to be affected by war canoe upgrades. So what does that mean? Essentially, these canoes here, they're good at fishing and have a weak attack, will turn into some more formidable military units then, and less of an economic unit. Because since you're the Calusa and you're very naval-oriented, it only makes sense that you have an extra canoe unit in your roster that you can use, basically. So I'll get some Seminole. Let's get get this going. Seminole Invincible Chronicles. The story of Seminole invincibility improves your Seminole unit's HP and allows them to slowly regenerate hit points. Does not affect native Sharktooth Bowmen. Only the ones trainable from this building and shipped from the home city. Pretty much. So we'll get some Seminole Bowmen, and we'll get some of these as well. We can even use them for some eco, which would be great. Get a mound house. So this is what a Noka canoe looks like, and it's really good for gathering stuff. But it can do a bit of combat too. Then if we send the trade-off technology here, then it loses a lot of its gather rate capabilities, becomes more military focused then, yeah. So yep, we'll get some military here and defend. Defend, defend, defend. So what has he got mostly? He's got regulars. So we'll just make Seminole Bowmen to deal with that, I think. Then we can ship some Calusa fishermen as well. I'll just get you into the TC, miss. Keep you safe. Overall, though, you get like really good eco as the Civ. I'm kind of messing around now, not taking it too seriously, but you can imagine if you get like your crates out and everything on perfect time, and you can really hold on well as the Civ and perform quite well in a lot of situations. I'll get some of these. Anything's good at this point. Yep, and as I said, these are basically like musketeer units, so they have like a good melee attack against cavalry. We're like not even running out of food at all, which is really rare, right? At this stage of the game, normally you have to worry about hunts and stuff. Now, with this Civ, you got so much economy, you don't even know what to do with it, really. I'll get some of these Seminole light horses here and try to defend against this. Possible, yep. Yeah, these are going to be good against Gats, definitely. Can make some more. So what has he got there? He's got Culverin. And then let's try to get a lot of wood, I think. And get some coin shipped in too. Might want the market and start getting the wood chopping upgrades now. Yep, Seminole horses will be alright for now. Let's age up and get our other roster units now. I'll get this. Well, we don't even need this now. Let's just get some stronger shipments in age 3. Why not? Get some more light horses. This eco can't be beat. I definitely can say that. Oh yeah, more husares. That's what the light horses are good at dealing with. So we'll just get these into position. Take these out one by one. Yep, let's get some hammock guns shipped in. And then we can possibly get some upgrades next. I will add in some of these blowgunners as well. These will be pretty solid against the infantry. Yeah, back the light horses up until we're ready to really start going after cab and stuff. You can use it to like go after the carbine cavalry, I think might be fair. I think we're scaring them off now. We're retreating, which is perfect. We'll take out as many of them as we can on the retreat back. There we go. So let's get the Ponce de Leon's demise. We'll get some really nice poisonous blowgunners here. And while we're at it, get some more population. I'll pick up the lumber ceremony and all the related ones. Marco cat sculptures. Basically, this is the same as your normal moon ceremony. Big bun, they'll give you enough XP for more shipments. Pretty much, yeah. Did we ever get a Calusa priest at all here? We did not. Or if we did, we didn't pay attention to him and he got raided. That's alright, we'll just get a quick one right now over there. Get some more wood chopping upgrades, I think, too. Here's our Panther Prowler, nice blowgunner unit. Get the Forest People ceremony. Because we can start generating some more fish onto the water there. Start moving out over here, seeing what we can grab. He's gonna just keep coming at us, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. He's just not gonna leave us alone for a while. So we gotta really start ramping up our army here. Start forcing them out. Going into melee with the regulars against the light horses, very interesting choice. I'll use that to my advantage and start kiting these guys, yeah. Give me some blowgunners, why don't you get those? You got a lot of them over here and they aren't even fighting. It's crazy. It's unreal. You gotta pay attention, man, and stay on the battlefield. Then we can get infantry combat. Making some owl shoots, it looks like. Just back these up. We don't want them to die at all. Nah. Take out these sharpshooters. Perfect, get that. Now he retreats because he knows he doesn't have enough army right now to stay in the fight against us, which is great. And now we need to put like whatchamacallit here. Where were all our villagers? I thought we had like a lot of vills here. Guess not. Get this right over here in the back so he doesn't mess with it this time. Yeah, we barely even have any vills, but our economy is just so good on water. It doesn't even matter really because we're just able to accumulate so much stuff here. It's crazy. I guess we'll just scout up here and look for more fish. So we can get some extra fish ponds going. Yep, here we go. This will be a lifesaver for us. Yep, start getting ourselves a shaman and then we can hopefully sustain another attack here. I'll get this so we can get some extra whales too. Then we can focus some more villagers onto the hunting if we need to. Get hunting dogs. For now, I'll just get more of these blowgunners. He's already attacking us again. What's up with this? He's gotta stop attacking us every few seconds. That one out, that one out. Get that one, get that. Alright, there you go. I might just do some cheeky tactics here. This is one way to get your army up. Yeah. For some reason these guys don't have any splash. It says in the description they do, but I guess they don't. Start bashing them with their big clubs. And this is the big button for the war element. The Calusa adopt the Tocobaga hunting practice of hunting during their misty mornings, improving the line of sight units. So, yeah, basically your stuff can see farther. Yeah, that. I think we should be good for a while here. Unfortunately, no artillery for this civ, so you don't get to utilize that at all. Sadly. Get a coin trickle. So this is what their farm looks like here. Obviously no crops, just fishy. And you can make these little dried fish crates around it as well as a secondary food resource. These are similar to the Swedish food crates, and they'll grow more food over time, basically. I have it on speed only wins right now, so it looks really fast compared to what it normally should be, pretty much, yeah. Do that. What are these? These are skirms. I guess get some more military. Yep. Add some light horses in, I guess. Should be good. Get some more of these. That one out. Take this one out. That one. Yeah, the spam's working a bit. TC, get some quick age ups and keep up his thing. Bison? What are the bison doing in Florida? Doesn't make any sense. Oh yeah, we're in Florida. We got bison. Bison burgers. Get this, get this. Get all these military upgrades now. Get up into Imperial. Get some more Calusa stuff, yep. Perfect, get these. It's fun doing this sort of cheat codes. Everything trains instantly. It's really neat. And just put some bills onto hunting then. Yep. Put some bills on the wood so we can get some wood eco too. Look at the AI score. It's always fun putting speed always wins on. Get some light horses. Let me get one of these mound houses here. Yep. No reason I shouldn't ally with myself, right? The Seminoles allying with the Seminoles. Yeah. Seminole bowmen from the military buildings and from the Day of Sight. Isn't that convenient? Researching the same technology that you can get from the home city. And then Seminole Invincibles. This is identical icon to the big bun you get at the Chicky. Start chopping more of this wood here, yep. And let's go for a push now. See what we can do with this. Can we like really pump out really well? Get the attack dance going, yep. Look at all the fishing boats we're getting because it's coming out instantly. What happens if we delete them all? Oh yeah, it just fills it up again. Yeah. Yep. Let's regroup. Group. Should have a sizable mass now to start attacking, yeah. What's up with all the volunteers here? He's going like full state militia on us. Funny thing, in Wars of Liberty, the European early skirmisher unit is called the Volunteer. So yeah, I wonder if that had any influence on Wars of Liberty, you know, changing the unit from the Ranger to the Volunteer eventually. Yeah, because it used to be called a Ranger before it was called a Volunteer. Let's make a shell stall too so you can see what it looks like. Yeah, this is the shell stall. It's like a little market basically. You can get your stuff, and it gives you coin for longer in the game. Has upgrades, jewelry making, and excessive tribute. Yep. Feels like we're winning the war overall, I would say. It's going to be a bit harder without artillery, though, I will say that. Don't need any more fishing boats now, I think. Yeah, once you have the natives in, I think it becomes a bit easier to do. No reason to make my own Seminoles since I can just get the native ones. This, get that. These in. Start going after all these structures here, yeah. Overall, I really like the way they had the buildings, and then this would be their tower. Their tower's on a mount, too. Any other buildings we're forgetting here? I don't think so. Just got a normal TP. I think the texture's slightly improved when you do the upgrades there. Just add some more clubmen up here to siege the buildings down, I think would be good. This bot just keeps spamming skirmishers of my shock infantry, which is super duper strange. Yeah, get that TC down. Start getting these production buildings over here now. Yep. Should make it a bit easier to go in for the siege. Start attacking that fort now. Almost there. Start sieging down at this fort down there, yep. Yeah, just go after that fort. Once the fort goes down, I think we'll be good. Get that fort right here. No more production. Yay, no more production. We can just start adding some units in to finish them off.
Pohjis. Umpia pilicittä. Pohji ihaue. Jeppo.
Nope, 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 no villagers, no villagers, no villagers. Those are forbidden. Get the town center out in the back there, yeah. Seems to wait at these houses, yep. Alright, start sieging away at this now. Villagers and cows and sheeps. Sheeps and moo-moos. Yep, they can join me then. There's gonna be no more villagers to hold them back when I'm done with them. Just need a water court, I believe, to get some boats to deal with his navy. Or not, he'll just resign. It is better to offer no excuse than a bad one. Oh, I guess, Georgie. Now, where's that axe? There we go with the Calusa. Very interesting civ, you know. We got aspects of the Wars of the Greeks, but also a very unique gameplay around mostly fishy and seafoody type economy, right? Between seashells and fish instead of, you know, corn and cotton. Yeah, basically. So I hope you enjoyed this. Now that we're done with the mounds and mountain civilizations, now we're going to be able to touch on to some of the older ones too, such as the Circle of Osis. We already did the Knights of St. John, so we don't have to do that one. And then we can start, you know, look at the R ones like the Zulu, the Mayans, the Charura, the Finnish, and all the other ones. Finish the Finnish, yeah. Finish the Finnish. Yep. So, see you next time. Signing off now from this one. Hope you enjoyed this and you watched the previous ones I did as well, if you haven't already.